And we're back with two dudes and a non-Mexican. Our WWE extraordinaire, Dre.
Hey, what's going on?
Where we can follow you at, bro, on Twitter?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Dre258, also on Instagram as well.
So we brought you in here because you're really up on the WWE world.
Thanks for having me, by the way, man. You know,
Of course. I mean, you go
blackjack. It doesn't get better than that.
Of course not. So talk to us about WrestleMania. What are your thoughts on WrestleMania?
It was a good card, considering the length of the whole show. What was it, like 7 hours plus?
Yeah,
maybe?
it's pretty long.
You know, it is pretty long, but considering that, I thought it was a solid card. I thought that last year, the whole storylines, everything played out pretty well as far as, you know, what WWE wanted to come across with, like, as far as storylines and elevating certain wrestlers and their fan base, too.
So what was your favorite match at WrestleMania?
You know what? Surprisingly, my favorite match was the Ronda Rousey, her debut. Yeah. You know, when she teamed up with Kurt Angle to face Triple H and Stephanie, that was pretty good. You know, she took her bumps. She showed a couple of moves. She was a little bit rusty, which I expected. You know, is her wrestling debut? But you could actually tell that she's probably made for this. You know, give her a couple years, but I think she'll fit right in, and like she kind of looks like a natural to me. I mean, she's pretty solid in there. So I mean, to me, surprisingly, that was my favorite match of the night. I thought that, you know, the Shinsuke AJ match could have been a little bit better, but that match seemed more like of a New Japan wrestling type of match.
Yeah. What about yours? What was your favorite match?
Well, my favorite match actually was kind of a shocker for a lot of people. It was when Charlotte beat Asuka. Listen, Asuka's been undefeated since she's been with NXT and WWE. Everybody says, why let Charlotte be the one to take it? I think, why not? Like, she's known as the queen of WWE. She has the heritage with her father being Ric Flair. It's the biggest event in WrestleMania. I mean, what are you gonna do? Give it to a newbie to beat her for the first time? Like, that wouldn't even look right. It had to be somebody who's established and great within the women's division. And you really can't find anybody that's more established than Charlotte Flair. So that was actually my favorite one because nobody really expected her to actually snap the street of Asuka.
Right. I was actually surprised, but it was a good surprise. Like Pete said, I mean, you can't get mad at the fact that Charlotte was able to, you know, take the undefeated streak from Asuka. Again, nobody saw it coming, but that's the beauty of it. Sometimes WWE gets a little bit predictable, and sometimes like they overdo it so many times. But the fact that they threw a swerve at us, and it was actually a good swerve, you know, I'm alright with that.
Yeah. So like the last match.
Yeah. Oh my God, that last match was brutal. I mean, if I had to talk about the worst match of the night, God, that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. That, to me, it's unbelievable how a guy like Brock Lesnar gets paid the amount of money he gets paid to be a part-timer and then do what he did at the main event. You know, to me, that's not fair to the other boys. I understand, you know, his name holds a lot of weight, so he's gonna bring you money. But like, I mean, we're in the network era where people are paying $9.99. It's not pay-per-view anymore. I feel like WWE have more leverage to do and say what they want as far as like these big names coming in. You know, before when like Floyd Mayweather and like Mike Tyson back in the day, people had to pay pay-per-view to order those WrestleManias. Now, I mean, people were getting it for free.
Yeah.
You know, with the 30-day trial. So now I feel like WWE, in my opinion, they should set their foot down and stop letting these big guys and names and celebrities try to move things around. I feel like WWE's in a position to actually, you know, do what they want, and as they should.
So what do you think? Like you said, they set their foot down. What changes do you see coming? You know, Monday and Tuesday you had the Superstar Shakeup. What are your opinions on the moves and what the future holds for both shows, SmackDown and SmackDown Live and Raw?
Yeah, you know what? Me personally, I thought the moves were great. Yeah. You know, Samoa Joe going to SmackDown. Yeah, KO, Sami Zayn going back to Raw. That was awesome. That little feud they had with The Miz and the Mizrahides, it kind of felt like a little NWO click, like that heel. Yeah, I loved it. It just sucked how they got split up. Yeah. But The Miz going to SmackDown, I think we're going to get that Daniel Bryan and Miz feud that we've been wanting to. And by the way, Daniel Bryan coming back, You know, that was huge.
That's awesome.
That's it. I'm telling you, that was huge.
That was awesome.
That was so huge. And I also feel like that's going to change a lot of momentum as far as the other guys that the company wanted to push. Now that the fans know that Daniel Bryan is active, I feel like they can't push like a Roman Reigns as much as they wanted to, or like certain other wrestlers, because they know that the fans are going to be wanting to see more of Daniel Bryan. So I feel like that literally changed the landscape of the company and the business. It's kind of similar to when Shawn Michaels came back from his back injury back at SummerSlam back in '01 or whatever it was. But I mean, like the whole Superstar Shakeup, it was great. I felt like everybody needed to be like as far as like the shows. I thought Finn Balor should have gone to SmackDown, but I think he's alright in Raw. Now I think that SmackDown and Raw is pretty even. Before I thought Raw was an 8 show, but I think now they're pretty leveled out, which is great.
Quick question regarding that though is, if you're not going to give Braun the title, which they've kind of played around with him for the past year and not giving him the title, why not move him to SmackDown now?
That's a great question. So with the greatest Royal Rumble coming up, in my opinion, I think Brock might take the title. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns is going to take the title, which he should.
Brock's going back to UFC?
It's possible. I mean, who
White
knows?
fucked up and let it slip out.
Yeah, but no, they actually just extended a contract with Brock Lesnar, so I think Brock loses the title, Roman gets it. I mean, I'm not a huge Roman fan, but you got to give him respect. He is there every week. I would love to see the Universal title on Raw every week, as the title should be on Raw every week. It's not a part-time title, and I think that Roman winning the title will allow guys like Finn Balor, like Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, those type of guys to get a shot at the title. Because I feel like guys like Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, it's just I felt like ever since the Universal title made its debut, it wasn't utilized properly.
Because there's only one guy in wrestling that, the face that runs the place is AJ Styles.
That's the man.
Is he ever going to wear a cup, or is he going to knock him or keep pushing him in the balls?
Listen, I think Shinsuke just learned how to do a low blow because
it's like that new move. He's just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, no, but heel Shinsuke is great. I like him. I'm sorry, I don't speak English. That was one of my favorite lines.
No habla inglés.
No, but yeah, that was great.
What was your favorite move in this Superstar Shakedown?
My favorite move, I love KO, so I like them being back on Raw. Listen, KO's one of my favorite heels. He finds a way to make people hate him. Even though I may not be as big of a Sami Zayn fan as you are, Sami and him make a great duo when they're in the ring. Listen, Sami's the wacky heel that doesn't care what anybody thinks and make fun of everybody, while KO is the serious guy that'll just stab anybody in the back. I think it's a great combination. I love them being back on Raw.
Well, one thing I do love is the Champions League. I think it's been a great Champions League.
Yeah.
Our semifinals are Bayern versus Real.
Yeah.
And then Roma versus Liverpool. I thought we had a pretty eventful quarterfinal.
Oh, man.
I mean, we had Messi being up 4-1 and then being gone.
Yeah.
And then Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is the hardest path Ronaldo has ever had to winning a Champions League.
I agree.
And I think if he beats Bayern and then beats maybe Liverpool or Roma in the finals, he deserves to be the GOAT.
I mean, he's definitely considered the GOAT, and a lot of people have, valid reasons for that, But it's a great year for soccer. The World Cup's coming up soon. We got the Champions League. We got a lot of teams making a lot of noise right now. It's great. The fact that Real Madrid was able to squeeze through the Juventus game, the last game, it was pretty tough for them, and I feel like...
You thought it was a penalty?
Yeah, I didn't think it was a penalty, though, but people see it as 50-50, so that becomes a referee criteria, whether he thinks it's a penalty or not. People got to look at it from the referee's point of view, not the actual camera TV point of view, because when you're a referee in there, you see different things from different angles. So whatever his call, I respect that, and I'm alright with the penalty. It is what it is. But I feel that Real Madrid is gonna unfortunately get that negative momentum that they got from the Juventus, and we're probably gonna see it in the Bayern game. But
all right, so we got 1 minute left. Who are you picking?
I'm picking Bayern Munich to win against Real Madrid.
No, the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing. Wow. Liverpool.
Real Madrid.
Liverpool. And that's it, folks. The first episode of Two Dudes and a Mexican, co-starring Dre, who knows everything about wrestling and football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. We'll be here in a couple weeks. Same location, same bad channel from Blackjack's Mulligan's Public House. And we're off, boys.